Hey guys, happy Wednesday. It's me, Keisha, and I'm here with this week's All Tea, All Shade, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 6, Episode 4 review. Want to start off by saying that this week's episode was a really poignant episode for me. It really touched me. It made me reflect on my own experiences, especially the part with Bronwin and her mom, which we'll get into in a minute. But this is why I stand for Rhoslc, because yes, we get the drama, the funny moments, the shade and the arguments and all of that. But what I really like about this cast is that we do get the serious moments where it's actual storylines going on, where we're really seeing the things that these women are dealing with in their day-to-day lives, right? It's not just about the glitz and the glamour. They're really opening the doors and showing us their reality. So the episode picks up where it left off last week with Lisa getting into it with Angie and Whitney. And so Lisa accuses Angie of owning only 1.5 of the Lunatic Fringe salons and that the rest are franchise. Now, when you guys watch my Who is the Richest Real Housewives of Salt Lake City video that dropped today, I discuss Angie's salons. So make sure you guys check that out because you're going to be really shocked who is the richest out of that cast. The video is up right now, but I will link it at the end of this one. But Angie denies all of this and says that she owns 3 and that the rest are franchise. So Angie was like, you do French fries, I do franchise. And Mary was like, French fries? So Heather had to explain it to her. She was like, oh, that was a good one. Yo, I was screaming, okay? So Angie says that she put Lisa's son's hair product on her shelves in her salon, and that she doesn't even promote it, but yet and still promotes Kerastase, who she got the plug from via Angie, and that it shouldn't even been on her shelf because it was a C-list product anyway. So here go Heather. Oh, that was wrong. Heather, shut up. Shut up, Meatloaf. So Heather gets to telling both of them that they're wrong for going low. And it's just like, well, girl, ain't nobody good to sit up here and let somebody continuously attack them and then they just gonna sit there and don't say nothing back. No, it doesn't work like that. Lisa told or started with saying that Angie was like Jen Shaw first, but now that Angie has said it back, woe is me. And it's like, no, just because you sit up there and let her talk to you any kind of way don't mean that the other ladies are. So once Heather gives her speech, her hallmark speech, Lisa decides to show her vulnerable side, okay? Because Heather tells her that, y'all need to be vulnerable and this, that, and the third. And Lisa was like, there are times where I feel vulnerable too. And Mary was like, but you don't show it. And Lisa was like, I grew up different from you guys. And she has mentioned that she didn't grow up in a household that is very emotional, right? Even myself, I didn't grow up in a very emotionally charged household. So I do react and respond to things differently than others. My friends will tell you I'm not the hugger. I don't like to be hugged. I don't like to give hugs. I will hug my son all day, every day, but just friends, that's not me. That's not me. I'm the very stoic one out of the crew. I'm not the crier. Yeah, I'm emotionally constipated in a lot of areas in my life. So I get Lisa when she says that. So she then goes on to tell Angie, she was like, Angie, I love you. I love you so much. And I'm very sensitive when it comes to you because when you love someone hard, when they do something to you, it hurts way harder. So once again, she plays the victim and Angie falls for it. She takes the bait and apologizes to Lisa. And I was like, why did you do that, Angie? Because nowhere in that did we see Lisa apologized back. All she said was thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm sitting there waiting on the return apology that we never got. And I was like, this is how she gets y'all. She cusses y'all out. She drags y'all for filth. And then she plays the victim and fake cries and gets it to where you all feel like you're in the wrong. Y'all apologize. And she sits there and we're like, thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Bronwin was so disgusted because Bronwin was not having it, okay? And I was with Bronwin, all right? So Lisa tells Heather that she loves her, and Heather is soaking it up, y'all. I know her panties was wet. This was her moment to shine because she got Lisa Barlow to not only acknowledge her, but say she loves her. The same Lisa who season 1 said she didn't even know her. All she knew was that she was a good time girl in college. Baby, Heather was sitting there. Tell me more. Tell me more. I bet you she went home and masturbated thinking about that, okay? So, Bronwin says, when Lisa turns to her, she was like, I know that I've hurt you and you've hurt me. When you're ready to acknowledge that, we can talk. And I said, now that's how you play it. That's how you play it, because Bronwin was not going to sit up there and apologize to her. And I was like, thank God you didn't fall for the okie doke too. I love the way Bronwin carried her. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Kudos to Bronwin. So after that, we see Mary and Heather having lunch one-on-one, and they're having a grand old time. They're talking about what happened, and Heather makes comments about how that day she drank not only her tequila, but Mary's as well. And Mary was like, I don't like tequila. She was like, it tastes like hospital. Heather was like, it tastes like hospital. So things can not only smell like hospital, but they can taste like hospital. She was like, yes, yes. I ain't never ate nothing that tastes like hospital. Like, yo, that is funny as hell to me. Somebody that has been in and out of hospitals myself, I have never eaten anything that reminded me of a hospital or tasted like one. I've been in environments that remind me of a hospital. But yo, that just tickled me. Even Mary had to laugh. Yeah, it was just so funny. So Whitney is at the home putting together her new stripper pole with her husband. And she says that she wants to get back to her roots after being a failed CEO because she misses the PTO moms and the moms at the kids' schools talking about how she had a pole in her house and how salacious it was. And she needs to get back centered and get back to who she is. And I'm like, it's a stripper pole. It's who you are, Whitney. I'm like, okay, Whitney, all right, to each his own, girl, to each his own. But in all actuality, it would be smarter for her to have a business where she had a strip studio where you can do pole as exercise or actually learn how to do pole work. That fits Whitney way better than a Whitney Rose skincare line or jewelry, because when we look at Whitney, we don't think skincare. When you look at Whitney, you don't think jewelry. When you look at Whitney, you see a pretty blonde girl with a nice body who is a skank. Let's not schmecks is what you equate with Whitney. You look at Whitney and you see a woman that cheated on her husband with a man who was cheating on his wife, and she a younger woman that's with an older man. Like, everything is trailer trash when it comes to her. So I think not only would that be a lucrative business for her, but since she likes being the black sheep of Salt Lake City, that would be perfect, because people would be curious. And we all have seen and heard from the Mormon Wives, that show or whatever, how they be doing all this stuff on the low. You know what I'm saying? make a studio. Is there even like a strip class in Salt Lake City? That would be so dope to go to a class, have Whitney teaching pole, have other women that teach pole dancing. They can exercise and all of that. I think that that would be so dope. Somebody tell Whitney that need to be her new thing. That'll get us some money, okay? That'll get us some money, all right? And fitness. She could do yoga classes and all type of stuff. Yes. Genius idea. So Bronwin visits Lisa at her club to talk because Lisa wants to sit down and have that one-on-one conversation. And basically they go back and forth and they agree to not talk about husbands anymore. And Bronwin fully apologizes for her transgression. She actually names them. Meanwhile, Lisa says, and I quote, "I'm sorry for the things I've said that upset you." Which was so insincere because she really is not apologizing for anything. What she's doing is reeling you back in to then stab you in the back, to be a shark and catch you off guard. And y'all fall for it every time because as soon as she gave that fake ass apology, here go Bronwin telling her business about how her mama living with her and that her mama admitted that she's way softer with Gwen than she was with her. And she's admitting that she likes to control how people feel about her, and how she even goes on to say in her confessional how she doesn't want to be rigid like her mama. And I'm just looking at Bronwyn like, you are giving this woman all the ammunition that she needs to take you down. Like, you cannot trust Lisa Barlow. She is a shark. You really think that she gonna let this shit go when you done spilled all her tea about these lawsuits? You have been the first person on this show to hit her where it hurts. You really think she gonna let that go? Oh, baby, when she bring out them chompers, she gonna eat you alive. And with her sitting up there telling Lisa that she likes to control how people feel about her, you just gave her your kryptonite. That is your kryptonite. And so the fact that I'm fully convinced that Lisa's going to be the one to bring out this felony charges and stuff that Bronwyn has had in her past. And we all know that this season, her storyline has been dealing with her mishaps, mistakes, or whatever you want to call it from her past, and how that has shaped who she is even as an adult woman, with her mother still looking down on her for the decisions that she made in her past. So imagine, not only does she have the stigma of being a teen mom and disappointing her family and the people around her, but imagine if she did commit this crime and you have that on you too. Oh, girl. Oh, girl. That's going to send Bronwyn to the loony bin. Like, oh my God. And you just served it up to Lisa on a silver platter. Oh my word. So Mary and her cousin Big Joe go to the church, which has been closed, we find out, for like the last 2 years. They've been refurbishing a lot of the seating and all of this stuff, but it still needs work. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm shocked that Mary is even filming at her church, because after what happened season 2, they would never be welcome in my church again. Never, ever, ever, ever. I don't even want that energy nowhere near around me. Cause y'all come for my church and me as a pastor and all these cult rumors and all of this stupid mess again. Yeah, y'all would never see me. I would never trust that network, those people in my sanctuary. And we all know that they don't understand Black church. They don't. And I know that, like I said in the past, people were accusing her of being a cult leader and all of this old weirdo stuff that was never proven by anybody. And I really feel like Mary was done so wrong, so wrong. But she's allowing them to film in her church. Her and her cousin, Big Joe, sit down and talk. And he asks how Robert Jr. is doing. And Mary says, we're 100 times closer now, which is even more hurtful because now I know when he's falling off. And I was like, okay, good. Because remember on episode, I believe, 1 of this season when she sat down with Robert Jr. and it was obvious that he was high. So obvious that he was high. But he was just saying that he was high off weed when it was obvious he was high off more than that. And I was like hoping and praying that Mary recognizes when he's, relapsed. So it was reassuring to me to know that she isn't really falling for the okie doke anymore. So the topic of her mother comes up. And how her mother was trying to take over the church and how her mother was going around telling everybody that her mama, which is Mary's grandmother, really wanted to lead the church to her and all of this stuff. And Mary admits that Mary and Robert Sr. was weird. She said it was weird for both of them, but they respected her grandmother's wishes. And I appreciated the fact that she is being more candid and open about that situation because it was a weird predicament for the people that's involved, And she says that, her mother was the one that decided not to speak to her. It wasn't Mary that cut her mama off. It was the mother that cut Mary off. And how, she was doing all these interviews and, accusing her of all of these things. We all know that. And we also find out in this episode that her mom actually passed away a few months prior. And she says in her confessional that her mom passing became a hurtful reality that basically, even though it's a relief that she's gone, because she no longer has to fight that battle with her mother, but she also has to live with the reality that she never really got the chance to really have a mom and have a mother-daughter relationship, and that they never got the opportunity to reconcile or anything, that it just, her mama gone and that's just what it is. And that has to hurt. Because all daughters want relationships with their mothers. They want that love from their mom, no matter how much money you got, how much prestige, power, whatever. We all want our mother's love and affection. And that goes into the Bronwin of it all. And I wonder, is that what has brought Bronwin and Mary together? Because they have grown very close here recently. So yeah, that really touched me about Mary. That really honestly did. And this is what I was talking about these poignant moments of really dealing with real life issues and allowing us to really get to know these women on a deeper level. So at Angie's salon, she has her license has expired, so she has to get recertified or whatever. So she has Heather come in so she could do a perm on her or whatever. So as they're sitting down talking, she tells Heather how after that luncheon she thought everything was good between her and Lisa. They had said they were going to start anew. But this is what, like I said, you cannot trust anything that comes out of Lisa's mouth. If you cross that lady, please believe she is going to come back 10 times harder. She's not letting that shit go, no matter how much she tries to pretend like, I want to be good with you. No, she don't. So she tells Heather that Lisa sent her assistant to get her son's hair care products, and that the assistant told her that Lisa also Venmo'd her $600. And she sent Angie a text message offering a cleaning service to clean her dusty salon. Oh, Jesus. So Heather was like, oh my God, what did you say? And so Angie said that she sent her a message back saying you should probably have sent that $600 to the people who are claiming you owe them money. And my products aren't dusty. Your products are, though, because they've been sitting here for 2 years. And I said, come on, Angie. Come on, Angie. That was a good response. So then Lisa hit her back with a message accusing her of borrowing money on somebody's card to go on vacations. And I was like, what? It didn't make sense to me. It was a big leap. I was like, are you talking about yourself? Like, what are you talking about, Lisa? It was weird. So then as Angie is talking, she makes a comment about Lisa's hair color being a bowling ball black. And here go Heather. Oh my God, that is not right. You see, you're going low. That's too low. Because she said her hair color is a bowling ball black. That's a low blow. Y'all punk pussy ass bitches. Like, that ain't shit. And what cracks me up is that Lisa can say whatever she want to say about these other girls. And Heather won't pretty much say anything. But let somebody say anything about Lisa. Oh my God, they are going to hell. And in a haystack, okay? It's like, oh my God, no, you didn't say that about Lisa Barlow's hair color. And it's like, Heather, get off that lady dick. Oh my God, she's so annoying. So Whitney links up with Britney. They go to this floral shop or whatever. And they're trying to, talk things out because, they started off this season rocky. And Britney wanted to talk to Whitney because she said that she realized after Lisa went for Whitney's business that she'd done the same thing and she didn't feel like that was right. So Whitney apologizes as well for bringing up Jared. And she asks, like, what's going on between y'all? She was like, and so Britney was like, we're together. We're just not engaged. We're working on things. We're taking things slowly. Such an idiot. So Whitney asks, what does her daughter Olivia want? And Britney was like, I think she wants to see me being consistent with not choosing a man over her, but it's hard because me and Jared are in a good place. It's hard for you not to choose a man over your daughter. I'm like, is this lady hearing herself? Oh, okay. So I couldn't believe that we were in a scene where Whitney was the smart one. It was like, what? So Whitney was like, is that her hard boundary that she wants you to stop dating for a minute? And Britney was like, I'm not sure. And Whitney was like, well, maybe you should ask her because is it really that hard to stop for a short period of time to prove to her that she's worth it? And Britney says, and I quote, wow, that would be a big ask if that's what she would need. Whitney then says, no offense, but she should come first, even if she's an adult. And Britney was like, I want to be that rock for Olivia, but it's kind of impossible because she doesn't make space for me. Like, am I supposed to just sit at home? How about she don't make space for you because you don't make space for her? You nincompoop. Like, ooh, Jesus. So Whitney was like, give it 30 days and see what happens with Olivia. Think about your ups and downs with Jared. It's been messy. And you could use a break. And if that's what she needs to see from you, it should be a no-brainer. Literally, it's your daughter. You should feel instinctually that I would do anything for her. Anything. Like not dating. Do you feel that? Like she is literally taking this girl by her arms to try to like shake her, to get her to. And Britney was like, yeah, I do. But Whitney looking at her like, no, bitch, you don't. So Whitney was like, because standing here and you questioning it is making me feel a certain way. And she literally is just sitting there like, do I have to? It's like, wow. Who raised you, bitch? Like, what is wrong with you? And it's sad because we know and we have heard of moms like this. And I feel really bad for Britney's daughter because it doesn't seem to me like Britney has a motherly instinct about her at all. She seems quite dense when it comes to prioritizing your child over your needs. She's very much that mama gotta have a life too. Fuck them kids. Like, that's the type of mentality that Britney has. And that's so sad for a child. Going back to the daughters want their mother's love and affection and attention. That mother-daughter bond, no bond, affects a woman's life tremendously. I almost feel like when you have mama issues, that is even 10 times worse than when you have daddy issues. I think that mama shit really hit differently. And so to have a mother like Britney who prioritizes men and her relationships over her relationship with her own daughter has to be so hurtful. So hurtful. And doesn't she have more than one daughter? Don't she have like 2 daughters or something like that? Like, and the fact that she literally was standing there with a question mark on her face, like, but I don't wanna. Like, it was like, wow. Like, Whitney had to talk some sense into her. Whitney was the one that actually was having common sense in this moment, which says a lot. Like, I think that was like Whitney's best moment on this show. Like, girl, one thing that I can say about Whitney, she seems like she's a very good mother to her daughters and her children, period. And I don't know what in the hell happened with Britney, but she need help. She need a parenting course or something. I don't even think that Britney is one of these people that really deals with emotion. I think with her being a actress, because, you know, she's an actress and she does, you know, musicals and plays and she can sing and she acts or whatever. I think that she is literally one of those stage kids that is all about the drama, all about that lifestyle. I don't even think Britney really knows who Britney is. I think that Britney has made herself into a caricature of maybe who she wants to be, who she thinks she is, because she doesn't seem like she's in touch with reality. And I'm being real right now. I don't think that she knows who she is. Like, she's out there, stage left. Like, God bless her. So after that, Bronwin is at home with her mama and they're sitting on the couch, and her daughter Gwen and her boyfriend, who is living with them, leave and say that they're going bowling. And she was like, really? And she was like, yes, mom, we're going bowling. We're out of here. So they leave, and the mama looking like, and she was like, yeah, for a minute, they actually had me believing that they were going bowling, but really they're going to have quality time with each other, if you know what I mean. And so the mama just rolled her eyes. And to be honest with you, that's crazy to me. Like, that's crazy to me as a mother. Like, Bronwin, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I just think that it's totally inappropriate to have your 18-year-old daughter boyfriend living with y'all. First of all, I need to know, where is his parents and why did they allow this? What is going on? Like, I need context. Because this is crazy. And I would feel the same if it was a boy. Like, ain't no way in hell. So, the mama, of course, does not approve of any of this. So Bronwyn in her confessional says she has the perfect idea of what a perfect Mormon family looks like, and I'm never going to fit into that for her, talking about her mama. And I disagree totally with that. I don't think that it has anything to do with Mormon lifestyle. I just think that it's about setting boundaries as a parent. Because I feel like once you get to doing shit like that, you kind of lose credibility as a mama. Like, I just think that that is just so inappropriate. So inappropriate. I'm 44 years old, and I would find it weird to even like kiss my man in front of my parents. Like, that's just weird to me. Like, gross. But to have your teenage daughter boyfriend living in the house with y'all, are they in the same room with each other? Like, girl, ain't no girl, no. And I totally understand her wanting to do. Let me get to that. So Bronwyn says to her mother, it doesn't really bother me. And Muzzy, that's what they call her, says, yeah, I know it doesn't bother you. That's why it doesn't bother her. And I said, baby Bronwyn was gagged. She didn't know what to do. And so the mama was like, she was like, she's following your example. And, Bronwyn felt attacked. She was like, let's be very careful how we say that. I set out to be very different with her. I don't want any sneaking and stuff. Just tell me you're doing it. And I respect that as a mother, because I wanted to do things differently from the way my mama and father raised me. And this is what I was talking about. It really got me, because I saw a lot of Bronwyn and her mother and my mama and my relationship in this episode. When I was growing up, my mother literally didn't tell me anything about schmecks. It was just, let me know when you want to do it. She didn't tell me about the emotions that come along with it, how to protect yourself, who to give it to, when to do it. We didn't have those conversations. I didn't have conversations about men and all of that stuff, telling me about how they act, how they behave, what you should expect, what you should demand, morals, value. I didn't have those conversations. And that was one of the things that I made sure that I did differently with my own child, where I was very open and honest with Kyrie's about relationships, about women, what to expect, how to treat them, your first sexual experience. And that's why we're so close, and why he feels so comfortable to come to me and talk to me about the pivotal points in his life, because he trusts me in those moments, not to judge him, but to give him proper insight on these situations. And I think that you can be your child's friend and be your child's parent, and it work, because I've proven that. I've proven that with my own child. But there also is a respect level there between me and him, where, yeah, I am your friend. I'm your best friend. But I also am your mother, and he knows not to disrespect me in any kind of way. You know what I'm saying? So I think that that's where Bronwyn has kind of like messed up, because I think she's more so trying to be the friend than the mama. I wish me and Bronwyn could be friends, because I would help her. I would help her. So Muzzy says, I like that, but it's parenting that I've never seen work. I disagree with that, because case in point, I think I've done a wonderful job. So Bronwyn says, okay, but did the way you parented me work? Because you didn't know I was having schmecks, and I had a baby by myself. BYU was trying to make sure I wasn't having schmecks. You were trying to make sure I wasn't having sex. And guess what? I was. And, even with all of that being said, you can tell your kid until you blue in the face not to do this, not to do that, if they're still going to make the decision for themselves. And hers resulted into her getting pregnant when she was in college. It happened. So Muzzy was like, I wasn't even thinking about that, because you were taught you don't smoke, you don't drink, you don't have premarital sex. And I would have put my head on a chopping block that you would not have done any of those three ever. And so, of course, Bronwyn feels guilty because once again she's being reminded that she disappointed her parents and she let them down and she's the black sheep and she did everything wrong. And Muzzy goes on to say how she feels like tough love works. And Bronwin discusses how she doesn't feel like that and how no one allowed her to celebrate her pregnancy when she was pregnant and how her pregnancy was miserable. And that was really sad for me. That was really sad for me to learn that because Gwen is her only child. Kyrese is my only child. I wasn't blessed with the opportunity to have another child after him. So I can say with my own experience when I got pregnant with Kyrese, it was very strained between me and my parents throughout my pregnancy because they were disappointed in me. Because mind you, I had already been pregnant before. I had a smortion and then I got pregnant again. So they were very disappointed in me because I was the quote unquote golden child, the smart one, the one with, great grades. And they didn't see me coming, child, because I was doing everything underneath their nose. Right. So for me to not get pregnant not once, but twice, they was looking at me like, what the fuck did we go wrong with this little girl? So I remember vividly, my daddy was giving me the cold shoulder throughout my entire pregnancy. My daddy didn't just cool out literally until a week before Kyrese was born. I'll never forget it. It was Thanksgiving Day. And we were talking about how I was getting induced the week after. And that was the first time he ever touched my stomach. That was the first time he ever acknowledged that he was about to have a grandson and that he was, excited about it. But throughout that pregnancy, baby, when he was taking me to my doctor visits, it was none of that happy-go-lucky smile. No, that nigga let me know that he was disappointed. But they didn't make me feel miserable. You know what I'm saying? They didn't beat me down, but I knew that he was disappointed with me by his mannerisms and things like that. Same thing with my mama. So I can only imagine how Bronwin felt with her mother being blatant about her disappointment and how she was not celebrating it and how she was treated. I feel bad for her because like she said to her mother, you pretty much ruined my pregnancy because I never got to do it again after that. And Muzzy says, that's not my fault. And I was like, God damn, bitch, you was a cold-hearted snake. God damn. And I feel bad for Bronwin because she didn't get to experience a joyful pregnancy or anything. I guess her and Todd don't want to have children because she's still young and vibrant enough to do it. But maybe that's a decision they have come to that they don't want to do. But Bronwin was like, you are the one who made it miserable. And Muzzy was like, you know how miserable I was trying to hide it? And I was like, damn, like she's literally making this about her. And it's like, girl, let it go. Let it go. Is it a thing where you're embarrassed because you feel like you failed as a parent and that everybody was judging you? Because that's what it's giving. That Muzzy was more so worried about what the outside world was going to think about her and her parenting and how she wasn't a good mom or how she failed to keep an eye on Bronwin or whatever the case may be. And I also think that there's some jealousy there with the mother. So Bronwin in her confessional says 20 years later, my mom still thinks that this is about her and her feelings. She said who was most hurt was her. She thinks that who was the most the mama felt like who was the most hurt out of this situation was her, which is crazy. So Muzzy says, there were periods when I felt Gwen was just dropped in my daycare. And Bronwin was like, what are you talking about? I was at work. And Muzzy says, if I didn't take care of her, you would have been somewhere else. We didn't want her to go to foster care. And I was like, now, wait a minute. That went left. And Bronwin was like, I would have worked the second job and paid for something. Let's not imply that I was going to let Gwen go to foster care. So with that part, I'm wondering when she was working, was it a situation where she was working and the mama was taking care of Gwen while she was working, and maybe it was a situation where she would go get her on the weekends or something like that? That's what I'm wondering. Because I remember when, like I said, when I was young and I would have to work, sometimes Kyrie would stay at my mother's house for a few days and then I would go get him on my off days or whatever the case may be. So I'm wondering, was it a situation like that? So, Muzzy says, you're doing your best. Just because I don't say, oh, you're so wonderful or amazing doesn't mean I don't think you are. I'm just busy being careful that you don't think you're so wonderful, that you're too good. And I was like, oh, she is not upset so much that Bronwin got pregnant out of wedlock and as a teen or whatever when she was in college. She's mad at the fact that Bronwin didn't become a statistic. She's mad that Bronwin still found a way to be who she is today. She worked in a corporate field or whatever. She met this man, got married, living this beautiful, glamorous life. And the mother is jealous and mad about that. And that's why she uses the fact that Bronwin got pregnant at a young age against her to keep her down. She uses that as a tactic to constantly beat down on her. Remind her that you fucked up. You ain't too good, bitch. You a teen mom. You didn't do this. You didn't do that. Because she knows, once again, that Bronwin cares about what people think about her and most certainly what her mother thinks about her. And the mama does not like that she did not become this ain't shit ass person with a little 9-to-5 rinky dink job. The mama is literally looking at her like, you weren't supposed to make it. How dare you be married to this millionaire man and living this lifestyle, even though you got pregnant out of wedlock and we had to help you. She likes to remind her of that to keep her down because the mama don't like herself. The mama ain't happy with her life. The mama probably didn't even get to live the life that she wanted to live because of their Mormon heritage or however she was raised. The mama is jealous of Bronwin. And Bronwin needs to understand that it is okay to forgive yourself. Your daughter is not a mistake. You are a good parent. Yeah, we all mess up in certain areas, but over the bigger scheme of things, you are a good mother. You love your daughter and you are breaking generational curses, and that you getting pregnant at a young age is your mama's issue at this point and not yours. And that you don't need to be around nobody that is going to constantly put you down and even admit to your face while they living underneath your roof that she want to make sure that you don't feel like you too good. Bitch, fuck you. How about your ass don't feel too good outside? How about that? How about I put your ass in a home right next to daddy? Because ain't no motherfucking way, bitch. No motherfucking way. Mama or no mama. That you gonna look at me in my face and tell me that you want me to not feel too good about myself? Who says that to their child? And that goes to show you that the mama fucked up in the head. The mother is fucked up in the head. The mother is one of them mamas where it don't matter what you do, how well you are in life. It don't matter. You're never going to be good enough because the mama don't feel good enough about herself. I really want to know how she treat the other ones. She probably belittled them too. It's not just Bronwin. Please believe it's not just Bronwin. The mama is fucked up in the head. Her mama probably treated her like shit. And now she's repeating the cycle by treating her own daughters like shit and making them reach this unprecedented level in life that they can never achieve in her eyes. The mama was probably in a fucked up, loveless ass relationship. Yeah. Brown, you better get that demon up out your goddamn house. Get that demon up out your damn house, honey, because your mama don't mean you no good. You don't. And it's okay to love your mama from afar and to forgive yourself. That happened 18, 19, 20 years ago, girl. 18, 19, 20 years ago. And I understand also that you want to ensure that Gwen feels comfortable to come to you and talk to you about what she got going on in her life and in her relationships. But I think that this is just my personal opinion. I think that letting her boyfriend live with her to keep an eye on her or to keep her close, I just don't think that that's a smart idea. Because I do agree with the mama that you like openly inviting that into your life. Nah. If you grown enough to be laying up with a boy, you old enough to be living on your own. Period. You not about to be laying up with no boy in my house. Hell no. But like I said, that whole scene really resonated with me, and I really felt bad for Bronwin. I really honestly did, because her mother is fucked up. So then at the end of the episode, Angie and Meredith link up to talk. They've been working on their relationship. And Angie tells her what Lisa did with the coming to get her products and all of that stuff. And Meredith says that maybe Lisa needs grace because kids were brought up, and everybody just continues to make excuses for Lisa's shitty ass behavior. And I'm just looking at Meredith like, you of all people know how low that this heifer can go. And yes, I understand that y'all are back cool or whatever, but just because you're back cool does not mean that you have to negate the things that were said and done to you as well, and what you've seen and how you've seen her treat other people. Weird to me. So Angie then decides to tell her that when her and Meredith weren't getting along, that Lisa encouraged her to dig up info on Meredith's family, some bankruptcy, some issue with stealing, and that she didn't do it. And I'm looking at Angie like, what are you doing? What are you doing, Angie? I didn't like that at all. I did not like that. I did not like that move. I did not like that strategy at all, because y'all know I'm a firm believer and don't tell it now because we ain't cool. You should have been telling it then. If you felt that bad about it, if you felt like it was that messed up, you should have brought it up then. Don't bring it up now that you and Lisa ain't friends no more right now. That's shady and that's fake to me. That's fake as hell. I did not like that at all. At all. Because if you do it to Lisa, you will do it to Mary. And we not about to play them type of games. At all. I just thought that was very fake of her. Really, honestly, fake. That shouldn't even been a conversation that you and Meredith have. Meredith know what she dealing with Lisa. Meredith is just playing the game with Lisa, would keep your enemies close and let me pacify her so I don't have any issues with her myself. But Meredith, no. If Meredith was not on this show, she would not be friends with Lisa at all. At all. Anymore. So Meredith in her confessional says, Lisa is loyal and Angie has been lying on me for 2 years now. And I'm looking like, Meredith, you can't even get them words out your mouth talking about some Lisa is loyal. You know goddamn well that lady ain't loyal. And this is why I'm losing interest in Meredith, because we are not stupid as the viewers. We're not stupid. You just don't want no issues with Lisa. You don't want any issues with her. But for you to sit up on these cameras and act like Lisa is just this great person and a great friend, and just calm down, you guys. When it comes, like, stop, Meredith. Please stop. You can be friends with her and still hold her accountable for her bullshit. And the fact that you playing dumb to this shit is so fucking annoying. You can get your ass and gone. You don't even live in Salt Lake City. Take your ass on. Just be on Growing Up NYC or whatever the damn name of the show is. Be on that and just get out my face at this point, because you pissing me off. But Meredith says that she's going to talk to Lisa about it, and then the episode goes off. Like I said, I really enjoyed this week's episode. It really touched my heart. I pray for Bronwin because she really needs help. Britney needs Jesus. The Latter-day Saints, a straight jacket, and everything else. God bless her. I feel for Mary also with, the passing of her mother and them not getting to, reconcile or even talk before her passing, and that open-ended relationship, and the things that she's going through with her son. Yeah, I'm gonna give this week's episode an A+. It was a really, really poignant episode for me. It was really good. Shout out to the ladies of Salt Lake City. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this week's episode. Please make sure to thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on your post notifications so you know my videos drop. I love you, T Squad, and I will see you all on my next video. Bye.